Hi, hello guys. I'm Bluelickies, hopefully the best Swiftmaster player. I'm going to make a matchup chart and then I'll just make this matchup chart pretty quickly, give my quick thoughts on the characters, because I'm gonna go and make some like smaller or shorter videos, like giving some tips and how the matchup is played. But if I did that in this video, it would be like an hour and a half, so I'm not gonna do all that. So this is just gonna be the basic matchup chart. I think I'm just Well, I guess I could talk about each one because I'm not going to take that long. So I'll start in order from here. Let me get him up there. There you go. Uh, Inquisitor is definitely an advantaged matchup because I think Inquisitor is a neutral character. Like that's her biggest thing. She's like wants to beat you in neutral with her in and out way, like her the way she gets in and out all the time. But you can just ignore that because orb and tap. So you just stop her from doing like a lot of times Inquisitors will like do 5M, the Molotov to back away. But if she does that versus you, you kill her with tap. You have good options versus her pressure as well because you have good buttons and good. You can use all your specials in the air, so you could air stall and stuff like that. It's not like it shouldn't like it's not should be free, but it's definitely in Swift's advantage. I think. I don't. The only bad thing is she can guard break you, like when she has low mana, but she kind of does that to everybody now, except like Crusader and maybe some other big life characters. But the thing about that is it's just one situation. So like the one situation doesn't mean it's bad or even. It's just she has one good thing. Berserker. Berserker I'll put in dislike. I don't like. I think it's slightly Berserker advantage because risk reward can be really bad. The best things that Swift has versus him is he can have Orb out while he's in Frenzy, so he just is losing life like the whole time. The That's good tap with punishing some of his normals because they're super active because they have multiple hits is also pretty good. And even if he uses conversion to keep himself safe, he loses some life for that, which is good. You can throw loop him in the corner because his DP doesn't reach. If you do like 5A, 2B as the meaty, the 2B won't come out, and the 5A is disjoint, so his DP will just whiff, and you can do your best starter, which is 5M. So that's pretty good too. The things that make it bad, though, I think, is while Berserker. No, I wouldn't even say he really struggles that hard in neutral, but you can definitely counter his neutral. I think the most annoying thing is his jumps, because he has the dive kick, and the dive kick can just go over 5S, which is supposed to be your anti-air. And when that happens, you can get TOD'd or just lose 90%. And it's just not looking good because of that, because you tried to anti-air him. You can DP, but the risk reward is kind of whatever, and his DP it doesn't always anti-air properly. On the ground, if he just does dash up 5B, like he does it to everybody, and it's always annoying no matter who it is. Even because so you can use 5B to check Berserker if he does that, but he has 2B, so he can go under your 5B. So like neutral is kind of just like he ran at me. I gotta guess on his grounded button. If I'm wrong, he probably wins the round. If I'm right, I have to hit him two or three more times. Maybe not two or three because it's Berserker. Probably like two more times. Whereas he really only has to hit you once into round win. So that's like force RPS you kind of have to deal with. That's why you just kind of have to throw out orb. But he's really fast in frenzy, and he has vacuum, so he can just pull you in and ignore orb sometimes. When he jumps, it's like the same thing of like, okay, is he gonna dive kick? Is he gonna JM? Is he gonna do JS? He has so many good air things he could do, and your anti-airs aren't the most consistent. And like once again, risk reward is just not in your favor, which is why I think it's slightly bad. Strikers even. Striker is definitely like Swift has good tools for striker players. I will say I'm scared of the striker player that actually understands like how to fight Swift because I feel like most of them, if not all of them, just like jump every time because they're trying to dive kick because they're striker players and they just jump into 5S and then they complain about 5S, you know. So like Swift has options. That's why it's even. If Striker gets on offense, you lost. But like to be fair, that's pretty much for everybody. The reasons I don't think Striker wins is just because Swift can check her a lot compared to other characters, and she can counter it, but you can like play if you play at the perfect spacings, you can kind of make it hard for her to get in unless they have conversion or if they well, really not even really with the 6S Kara change makes it way easier for her to get in, to be honest. But at least that does give you white life. But I just think it's a matchup where you have pretty good neutral control. Your offense for Striker is completely terrible though, which is really bad because her DP and guard cancel. So that's not good at all, which is really rough because you win neutral to just return to neutral because your offense is so lacking. Like your main form of offense for Striker players is baiting guard cancel, but you don't really have to they don't have to guard cancel. If they do, that's honestly more of a mistake, especially with Orb out. Like if they're getting baited, that doesn't mean it's a good matchup or anything. It just means that they're doing a bad guard cancel in all honesty. So that's probably my biggest reason. Neutral is makes it even, but everything else is definitely Striker advantage. And the neutral isn't that bad for her, despite what they might tell you. Grapplers definitely should be free. You should not really be losing the grappler. It's just really boring. You have to like throw orb and look at him, and that's it. You can't throw tap because he can parry it. You don't really want to press like five. Well, I mean, you could press 5B, but he has his JS, which can beat 5B, and using your low 2B can also lose to that. So you really just want to not give him white life, so always end your combos in 5M, go back to neutral, throw orb, and just look at him. Because if he commits, you can usually react with it to a DP. Like if he does stomp, you can react and DP it. Or if he does tackle, you just get white life from that and get your turn back. And he has like if you play it properly, you just kind of like throw orb and sit there. He really can't do anything. The reason Swiftmasters lose this matchup is probably two reasons. They get bored. They no, three reasons. They get bored, so they go in. They throw him, or you drop a combo. Those are the three reasons you'd probably lose to Grappler. If you don't do any of those things, you should be winning. Just stare at his like examine his outfit or something. I don't know. That's what you gotta do. Ranger, I used to think this was bad. It's not bad this patch, I think. It's even. Last patch I thought it was bad just because like he could really RPS on your offense really well, and his reward is better. And his neutral is already annoying, so it's not like Swift just dominates the neutral. And then Ranger offense is really annoying because if you guard cancel, Ranger was at the advantage, which is really BS. But guard cancel's got buffed, so it kind of got rid of that. The DP combo also makes it so like you can take advantage of his gaps and actually hurt him for it, rather than just like DP and then nothing really happens. That's pretty much it. Uh, Ghostblade, I think, is probably slight advantage. The things with Ghostblade is he's kind of similar to Inquisitor. He's a neutral character, but you win neutral versus him, which is the biggest thing. It's just like, well, we're both supposed to be doing this one thing. I just do it better, so I win the matchup. Swift also has good answers to his offense. He can hit the ghost in a lot of ways. I could show that in a later video. But he can hit the ghost in a lot of ways and make it hard for him to get like super easy pressure. He's always going to be forced to like RPS. His one best thing in the matchup is he does a lot of damage, so he could two touch. But as a Swiftmaster player, you should be expecting to get two touched. That's nothing new. It's not like super specific to him. It's just kind of the thing we have to live with. One big thing I'll show later, but I'll just say it, is Belt stops him if he accidentally gets white life, or you just give him white life. He can't 6S conversion for free, which is like his main tool of like I'm just gonna get in and you can't do anything about it because you have Belt and Belt will just hit him for crossing up. So that's really good as well. Hitman is even. The Hitman players might tell you it's disadvantage, but they're Hitman players, so their opinions don't count. Hitman is just mad annoying. I think the biggest annoying thing is your damage kind of lacks, so it's hard to like kill him. But it's hard for him to kill you as well. It's just a really boring matchup. Not as bad as Grappler though, but it's pretty boring. The biggest things about this matchup is you just have to play really lame and not use conversion, because if you use conversion, you're going to kill yourself faster. That's pretty much it. It's just based on the neutral. Hitman tries to walk you to the corner and then mix you to death, and you have to try and not let that happen while also not getting hit by 6S and 5M and stuff like that. DK, honestly, I don't know if it's advantage or should be free. I really don't know. I might go with. Nah, Lupro's making me put in an advantage. It's all Lupro's fault. I would put her here if Lupro wasn't a real person, but I'll put her here because this matchup is definitely Swift advantage. Uh, because she's an air character, right? And I have orb, so that's just not looking good. Because she'll jump, and then you just activate, and she gets comboed. Or you could use 5S to anti her. 2S can be pretty good. I've started using that. I haven't used it before the patch, but I started using it this patch. 5A is pretty good as well. Air DP, good old air DP, that could work, I guess. Neutral is just definitely Swift advantage because he controls the air and has better grounded neutral than her. In terms of offense, he has really good buttons to hit the dragon, and he also has really big normals to deal with the dragon. Actually, I'm gonna put this in should be free. I have to. Like, if you really know how to fight dragon, like I'll show it, but you can do like 5A, 5S, jump S, 5B, dash up 5B. Like, there's so many ways to get out of her pressure, and it forces her to do something to specifically counter that, but you have so many options. It's like not good for her whatsoever. And Swift's offense is pretty strong versus her because she doesn't have the best buttons to contest after orb. That's the basis of how I feel about that matchup. This is even. I used to be advantage, but Vanguard just presses behead and is nice. So I feel like the way you optimally play the Vanguard matchup is to just sit full screen and wait for him to behead and give you white life and then do something with that. His neutral is just mad good, so he can definitely fight you. Your saving grace is definitely orb, so that he can't just run at you and put you in the corner. Because he could like genuinely do that. If you don't have orb out though, he'll like run at you and threaten 5B or 2S, not 2S, 2B, or behead, which is the armor move, and like it's really hard to RPS there, especially when you lose the damage output battle, which makes it really annoying. It's just that you can orb and you can tap out of range of armor to like make him think about his options and use your white life effectively to make him think about using behead. So that's really the best you can do. Kuno is probably even. Kuno players tell me like I think Kuno does really well versus Swift, might beat him, but I'm the only one that like makes them think about the matchup, I guess. I don't know I don't think she beats him though. I think this matchup is just like we both have options to counter each other's options. So you just have to be right most of the time, or have like really good reactions in neutral to see what they're gonna do. She has a really good offense, which is annoying. She is like guaranteed guard breaks, which sucks. I haven't dealt with her new offense yet. I don't know if Swift can deal with it. He probably can because good buttons and bigger DP, but I have to lab that. But in terms of like the pre-patch, it was definitely even. Her damage output is, of course, always going to be higher than Swift's. Pretty much everyone's is, but I think the neutral is like maybe slight Swift advantage. The only bad thing is Orb's not really out because Kunai can hit you for it. But now it's like less mana, so it's not like a huge waste like it was pre-patch. Just it's a weird matchup. You probably have to play it a lot to get comfortable in it if you don't know it, but it's definitely even in my opinion. This matchup is awful. Like I'm just gonna put it in its own tier to be honest. This matchup is completely atrocious. Like it's not unwinnable. Like I might say it's unwinnable if I lose the one in bracket though, but like it's just really bad. The damage output difference is absolutely absurd. You have to hit Crusader 5 times because he has like close to 1200 life, so you're gonna have to hit him 5 times maybe 4 times if you get like some good starters. So, like at best 4 or 3 or 4 if you're lucky, probably 4 or 5. He has to hit you twice. His damage output is absurd. He can probably TOD you and like DP punishes. He gets armor after every single combo now, so he'll just hit you once and then do the best win condition in the game and you lose. These are not specific to Swiftmaster, but the main things is the neutral character versus neutral character thing, right? And Crusader's neutral is extremely strong, especially for Swift, where like you trying to play the lane game with Orb and he can just wall and like make it really bad. And you can't really, if he just does Grace from like full screen, which has happened to me, like it's kind of hard to contest that. The best you can do is like belt on reaction and then um, roll into him, which he can just block. And then if he blocks that, you just can't do anything really. Like stuff like that. A really big thing is Swiftmaster's offensive options are garbage versus Crusader. He can just like wall if you throw the orb, and then he actually gets advantage because it sucks you in, so he could do 2A a million times. He can punish 6S. He can mash out on 4S, absolutely kill you for it. Throwing him, like, you kind of have to because it's hard to open characters up with Swiftmaster, but if you throw him, he gets white life, and that's really, really bad. He just has so many options to deal with Swift's offense, so where, like, the main thing you can really do is, like, finish the block string, do belt, and, like, run up at him, and try to not give him white life, because if you do, you're kind of doomed. It's just, in general, I'll just say risk reward's bad, neutral is really annoying and hard, and offense is just bad. And he has, the best thing we have is we can contest his offense with 5B pretty well, but even that's always a risk, and he does 50% on every touch. So, yeah, really bad matchup. This is still advantage. I haven't actually played it post-patch, but no, wait, I played it once in ranked, but I don't see anything she has making it any easier for her because she always gives you white life, and then you can just put on belt and then roll in. Like, I guess the flamethrower buffs might make it better, but I really don't think, like, it's probably not, it was probably here last patch, but no, it's, actually, I don't think it was here last patch. She actually has decent options, but I just think in her defense is just not good. And Belt is really good. She can call out Belt, I think, with 5M, the laser beam, because it's a slow startup, but even still, like, she has to commit to that. You just gave me, if I block it, you gave me white life. It's like, it's just really rough for her to stop me from getting in, which is her whole game plan. And I can just, ignore that pretty easily. Also, I could sneak in some taps every now and then. Troubleshooter is even for sure. This character is probably advantage last patch, but now the new buffs just make him extra annoying. His awakening is like hard. It's not that bad because you can consistently punish it with 5B, which is really good. I think it's more so like he can grenade drink, which is really annoying because he could just throw grenade, drink, and it's like free white life, whereas before, to get a drink out, he had to commit, and you could tap him for it, and he would die. But now he's like throwing the grenade, safely drinking, and now you can't roll, you can't DP, you can't guard cancel because he can react to everything. So his offense is mad strong, and his neutral is way stronger as well because of that. His damage output, you probably are going to get TOD'd at least once in the set if you play a troubleshooter. But, like, Swiss neutral still probably is better than his. So we take that. It's not like a bad matchup. It's just troubleshooter, just a stronger character than last patch, which makes it go from advantage to even. I think it was advantage before because you just won neutral, and you still do, but he has better options to deal with your neutral, and his offense is better. So you can't, like, if you do lose neutral, you're probably done for. Enchantress, I'm gonna be real. I played a long set with Enchantress player named Riazo, one of the best. I don't know what this character does. All I know is it's a good matchup, to be honest. Like, just tap, just orb. Jump her, I don't know what button, she, like, the thorns or the vines or whatever the hell it is. You could jump that, so you just jump that and punish her, and then she loses. Her DP is mad slow, so and also suctions in, so jumping at her is actually really good because she has the same struggle Swiftmaster has with the DP. It's just I don't know how you would lose the matchup if you just play like normal Swiftmaster, just like tap tap orb and just play like that. And it's hard for her to contest your run up buttons as well. Like I really don't know like when I was playing against her, she wasn't even doing that much damage to me. Whereas she makes Swift look like a good damage character because you three touch her like guaranteed. You can even two touch if you get tapped. So that sucks for her. Just she's just a bad character to be honest. This is probably should be free. I'll put it in just advantage, I guess, because I think Lost Warrior. The reason Lost Warriors like are easy to beat is because they use Orb a lot or his success, whatever the hell it is. The like tracking Orb, and I think if you use that versus Swift, you're kind of selling because Swift is too fast and has good buttons, so he could just run up at you. And then now Lost Warrior can't do anything except okay, I can parry his dash up 5B, or I can like roll or something like that. But you probably have white life because he used the swords, so you could just react to roll. And if he's parrying in neutral, you're winning neutral because that's a hard commitment and it's bad risk reward. If they didn't use orb and they just tried to play traditional neutral, well, not traditional neutral because this character just doesn't do that. But if they did play neutral without orb, maybe it'd be easier for them. But at the same time, I don't know because I don't play the character, so I'm gonna just put it probably here. This is probably my matchup chart. Trying to think. I might have to downplay and put some characters in bad. Like, yeah, this might be the way. There we go. This is better. Gotta get the downplay ready. All right, but this is basically my matchup chart. I will make some videos for each matchup. Maybe not Enchantress, but pretty much every character giving some small details on why the matchup is the way it is, I think. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Make 2ALO. Goodbye.